Good evening, Coach. Everyone in the boardroom. Coach, maybe if you can give us the own assessment of the game today between Richards Bay and Cape Town City.
Yeah, obviously we knew it was going to be a tough encounter against them. They're not an easy team to play away from home. But we also knew that, we would have quite a bit of possession in this game. And we're pretty good at that, the possession phase, the control phase. But the final phase at the moment, we're not turning that possession into chances created or enough. And first half, we tried to deal with that. Second half, it got slightly better. Our best opportunity in the game was Amadou. And I think that was really the only save the keeper had to make. And then we knew that obviously this team was going to be a threat on the counter, and with all the possession that we have and the trying to penetrate and trying to create the chances, you're going to get caught on the counter. But I thought for the majority of the game we dealt with it quite well. It was only the once where Darren had to make a good save, so they had one chance, like us. So yeah, a bit of a dead rubber, hence it goes all the way to penalties, and then penalties is anyone's game.
Thank you, Coach. Can I take hands? 1, 2. Okay, let's start.
Good evening, Good evening, Coach. Congratulations on the loss, obviously. Coach, given the fact that you're a club that sort of has prided themselves on winning cup competitions, how heavy of a blow is this for your season and just generally?
Yeah, massive blow, because obviously we set certain objectives and targets at the beginning of the season, and currently we're not meeting those targets. So it's obviously a massive blow.
Awesome.
Eric, I wanted to ask about, obviously look at that Magesi game, Sundowns, this one. Is there a sense of concern now with getting the ball in the back of the net? And
yeah, definitely.
Around the corner, is it something that you work on in the market?
Definitely it's a concern, because, we were just watching this morning clips from our game against Royal AM, where we scored 3. And there was a lot of fluidity in our attack and good movement and chances created. And I don't know what's happened since Magesi. We've lost that. You would have thought you would have built on that, but instead we've kind of lost it. And like I said, the last 3 games, a lot of control, a lot of possession. Not so much against Sundowns, but at least Magesi and this one, you knew you were going to have that. But just not a threat, just not enough intent in the final third to want to score, and not enough creativity from everyone. You can't rely on singular persons to be that creative player. Hashim as an example. Others need to contribute, and I don't think others are at the moment. So we're becoming a little bit one-dimensional, meaning if Hashim doesn't create, well then we have a problem. You understand what I'm saying? And then opposition close Hashim down, then you nullify us. So those are areas that we need to work on. The contribution needs to come from more attacking players, not only from one specific person.
Thank you.
I'd say that something to address with the general when we come to the...
We will assess that. Obviously now, we got Tsecho out, looks serious. Fortune looks very, very serious. Unbelievable, ridiculous tackle. So yeah, we've got to assess that and then start looking forward, seeing what we need to do.
Yes, and then start again.
Coach, you've now in knockouts and the two cup competitions. And obviously we are going to focus on the league games. With losing players each and every season, we've got like 15 players that are going out and other players, are you planning on bringing any players, like looking at your squad at the moment that the team is not doing as much good? Yes, you're saying
I think at the beginning of the season we brought in 10 new faces. Some of those new faces obviously came from the DDC. Some of them came from the NFD. And they're players that need to adapt to the system that we're playing, and I believe those players will progress and will progress well. At the same time, we brought in some well-known names: Fortune Makaringe, Hashim Domingo, Kamo Mokocho. There's the boy Karlinj that we got from Petro, who unfortunately was a big loss because he has a long-term injury. So we brought in quite a few players at the beginning of the season to rebuild the squad. But like I said, we started well in terms of our offensive play, but somewhere along the line we've kind of lost the wheels somewhere along the way, and we need to try and figure out what is the reason behind that, because I still think we have the depth in the squad to still do well this season.
Thank you.
Coach, you probably touched a bit on my question in terms of the sort of big names that you've brought in. When everyone saw Makarinde, Mokocho, Domingo coming into your team, people sort of expected you to cook there.
Yeah.
What's your feeling towards that combination, those three sort of working together, and how do you feel about their progress integrating into the team as a trio?
I think they've all integrated very, very well, to be brutally honest. All of them are very hard-working, good professionals, and it's taken them a little while to adapt to the way I want them to play. As I stated in the last press conference, as much as Hash is good with his passing and finding that killer pass, goal contribution needs to be higher. Fortune, another one, can create assists, can show creativity, but can he also get us goals, and that's area of the game that I demand from them, so those are certain qualities that they've still got to believe that they have, because I think they have it. They just, come game day, they're not really capable of showing it as yet. And then Kamo Mokocho, we know all his experience and knowledge. Came from a team that plays a very different brand to what we do. And in the beginning, struggled to understand the 6 role. But I think today, again, I thought he played really, really well. Controlled the game extremely well. Made the right choices. Just unfortunate, he got tired towards the end.
Coach, you work well with Manyama as a player, working very well as a coach. What have you made of his progress from being a player to the role that he's playing now? And what lesson can anyone learn from him?
I think obviously his experience, If there's someone who can help us with that creativity part, because that was one of Lebo's strength, is basically him, and now that we have, 2 weeks that we can sit and work, Lebo now put him in charge of making those front players aware that, hey, these are the situations when you get in that final third, this is where you need to show that creativity, this is where you need to take that risk, and he can speak from personal experience on how to do that, So I think he's learnt a lot. He's learnt the horrible side of being the coach. The blame is always yours when the team loses. And he's started to understand that, but he'll grow.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, everyone.